In this video, we'll learn how to use pattern, mirror, and sweep features, as well as different filling techniques. Let's start by finding the clamp place we did prior. If you did not complete the sketch and extrude lesson, a link to the file you need will be found in the description below. I like to get in the habit of using the Open dialog box to locate my components. Open can be found from any component if you have a component open. You just click on the Open Close flyout and select Open. To show the process from a blank screen, I'll close this part, and then you can start a new component and click Open as well. This will take us to the search window in xDesign. You are not opening files as you traditionally think of opening a file, but rather searching an online database, much like any online search engine. It works similar to many online experiences to which we are accustomed, like Google or Amazon. On the left-hand side, we have our 6W tags. Think of these as filters. I can narrow my search based on criteria inherent in the file or information we add. We refer to this information as metadata, information related to the file upon which we can search. In this example, I can narrow my Open dialog box to the files which I have created. Now I can search on a narrowed data set. Just enter a search term in the search bar at the top of the screen where we are used to finding the search bar, and it will narrow the results even further. Within a few clicks, I've narrowed my selections down to 3 files. Now I can grab the toggle clamp base. Before I click OK, notice that my 6W list now allows me to add information about the file myself. As before, we can filter based on these tags. It's a handy way to quickly relate files that may be in 2 entirely different projects. Notice by selecting the file and the I, you can get more detailed information about the component, and we can also see how this component relates to other components. Finally, clicking OK will open the part in the xDesign widget. The first feature we are going to create is a hole feature. Before creating a hole, we need to sketch points where we want to locate the hole. To do this, select the face where we will be drilling the holes and start a sketch. In the sketch action bar, select the point command. Place the point. You can see here that I am careful not to grab any unwanted sketch relations by placing the point further away than it needs to be. We then add dimensions to locate the point. You can dimension to edges that are in plane with the sketch, or if needed, you can rotate the model and grab additional edges for dimensioning. For this hole, we'll place it ½ an inch from either side. For this feature, I like to click the green check to exit the sketch, and then select the 3 dots beside the name in the Design Manager, and rename the sketch, so that when I open the part 6 months from now, I know why the sketch was created. And now select the Feature action bar, and select the Hole command. There are 2 tabs in the Hole command. One selects the type of hole which we wish to place. The second determines the locations. As you can see, we can create ANSI inch, metric, DIN, and ISO standard holes. For this example, select an ANSI inch counterbore for a 1/4 inch socketed cap screw. All the information you typically find in the machinery handbook is automatically calculated for me. Now click the Placement tab and select the point we just sketched. You can grab the point on the screen or the entire sketch from the Design Manager. This shows a preview of the hole. Looking at the preview, we can see this is a bit large. So if we go back to the Design tab, we can change the hole to a number 6, which looks a lot better. Click on the green check to complete the command. We no longer need to see the center point. Clicking on the sketch and then selecting the Hide command will turn the visibility of the sketch off. The same can be done for the 3 default planes. This won't stop us from being able to use the geometry, but just shuts them off from our view. Okay, we'd like a second hole on the opposite side of the base, so we'll use the Mirror command. In the Feature action bar, select Mirror. There are 2 items that are required to be selected. First, the plane about which we'd like to mirror. You can see that even though we hid the planes, In the dialog box where they are needed, the display will toggle back on while we are in the dialog. We select the plane bisecting the part. The second requirement are the features that we'd like to mirror. For this, we will select our hole. We can select from the Design Manager or the graphics window. Next, we'd like to copy the hole along the base so that we have a total of 8 holes. We copy features around a part with a pattern command. For this instance, we'd like a linear pattern. Much like a mirror, a pattern requires 2 selections, a feature and a direction. For this pattern, we will select the mirror and the hole for the features to be patterned. For the pattern direction, we can select a model edge, plane, or as you can see, xDesign conveniently places 3 default axes from which to choose. I'll select one of the default axes. We want 4 total instances. For the spacing, I could go back to the calculator on my dashboard, but I don't have to. I can do the math right in the dialog box. Now that my design is complete, I can put a couple finishing touches. First, we'll apply material. In the Tools action bar, select the material icon. The material dialog box appears, and we can select a material for our base. Materials are created in a different app, and that will be saved for another lesson. I'll just select Cast Alloy Steel and right-click to apply. Now that the material is applied, we can get accurate mask properties. The mask property command is also in the Tools section. Let's save and close our clamp base and start a new part. This will be our toggle clamp link. We will start out with a sweep feature. A sweep is a feature where a profile follows a nonlinear path. A sweep typically requires 2 sketches, a path and a profile. As a general design practice, I always like to sketch my sweep profiles last. That being said, we will start with the path, select a plane, and start a sketch. Oops, I forgot to name the component. I like to do this first so I don't save it with the default name. Sketch a horizontal line starting at the origin, followed by 2 tangent arcs, and a line tangent to the second arc. Make that line horizontal as well. One dimensioning trick. If you sketch a line and make that line construction geometry, and then dimension to the line. Dropping the dimension on the same side of the geometry, you get the actual dimension. If you drop the dimension on the far side, you get double the dimension. This is handy when creating half the part and mirroring as we're going to do here. Add the dimension shown on the screen. And click OK to exit the sketch. I like to rename this sweep path. A sweep profile is best created at the end of a path. In this case, one of the 3 default planes is at the end, so we will sketch a 1/2 inch by 1/8 inch rectangle with the origin located at the bottom corner. Again, click the green check to exit the sketch and name this Sweep Profile. In the Feature action bar, select Sweep. For the path, we will select on one of the lines of our sketch, and tangent propagation will carry the profile to the end. We could select the sketch itself. For the profile, we can select the sketch or shaded contour in the graphics window. When completed, we get a profile following a nonlinear path. The end of the link should be a rounded contour. We will do this with a full round fillet. Select the fillet command from the feature bar and pick full round. Select the three faces to which we'd like tangency, and then OK. This rounds the end of our link. Grabbing our default datum plane, we can quickly create a circle, concentric to the round. Add a 0.2 inch dimension, and cut a hole through all in one direction. This completes half of our link. To create the second half of the link, we're going to mirror the entire part. Select the same mirror command from the feature action bar. This time, for the mirror plane, we will select the face of the part about which we'd like to mirror. And for items to mirror, we need to toggle the selection for body selection. Now when we select anywhere on the part, it will mirror the entire part. Think of it as a mirror all. If you'd like, you can apply a material and then save the part to our collaborative space. This concludes our lesson on mirrors, patterns, and sweeps. Please check out any of our other lessons about designing in SOLIDWORKS xDesign.